Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Indian Life German Way. The German political landscape has been changing. If you look at the last few years of data, you can see there has been an increase in the German right-wing political parties. If you look at the data for last 10 years, you can see there has been a tremendous increase in the numbers. What does this mean for you as an expat? Should you consider moving to Germany? Would there be any issues when you are moving to Germany? What kind of changes can you expect when you are here? Do we still have ample job opportunities? Is it safe to live here in Germany? So I'm gonna try to answer all these questions in today's video. So before I deep dive into the video, I just want to shortly talk about myself. My name is Vishal Chanda and I've been living in Germany for last 8 years. And I'm currently living in Northern Rhine-Westphalia, which is one of the 16 states in Germany. So the German political system has been crumbling since last few years already. After Angela Merkel left, we had a new candidate, Mr. Olaf Scholz, who was the new chancellor from SPD party. However, his reign came to a short end, and last year in 2025 we had new elections. And the results of the elections were really overwhelming. Why? Because the top three parties from these election results were SPD, CDU, and AfD, which is the extreme right party. The results were as follows. So the current ruling party, CDU, they stood up at around 24.6% of votes, and the SPD came at around 16.4%, followed by AfD, with they had around 20.8% of votes, which was a real increase. And the another party, CSU, they had around 6% of votes. So the current German government, which is running right now, is actually a coalition of CSU, CDU, and SPD. So now let's take a look at the growth of the extreme right party in the last 10 plus years. I mean, if you look at the data, in 2013, the party was around having only 4% of votes. And fast forward to 2025, they are already at around 20% or more than 20%. So that has been a drastic increase. So now let's take a look at the reasons, key reasons. What's the reason behind of the growth of these extreme right parties? What's changing? Yeah. So one of the biggest reason I think is the immigration policies. Yeah. As you might have seen, there have been so many immigration rules changing in the last few years. Also, especially with regards to German passport, there was a rule put forward a couple of years ago that someone can get a German nationality within 3 or 4 years, like a fast track process. Yeah, and a lot of Germans and a lot of locals, they were against this policy, and that's why this has now again changed back. So they basically canceled this policy. So there have been a lot of immigration topics happening throughout Germany. Of course, there is a shortage of labor, and this is a concern, but that's another topic. But in the past, there have been issues also with regards to the Syrian migrants and the other migrants from other countries, war-struck countries. Then the Germany had took so many immigrants, yeah, and because of these immigrants, there has been also issues on the social life in terms of the support, yeah, that they need. And then there's always pressure on the working people because they're paying taxes, and then these taxes are being utilized for all these things. Of course, that has been one of the key reasons that the current German parties are kind of exposed to the issues that Germany is facing, especially with regards to the immigration laws. The second key reason is that the young people from Germany, they are in favor of parties like AfD or the extreme right parties, because they believe that there are a lot of outsiders coming to Germany who are going to take their jobs. Yeah, they are not secure anymore, and there has been a drastic increase if you talk about the number of votings that are given from these young people, especially to these parties. Some of the other factors include the economic slowdown. Yeah, as you might know that the Europe and Germany in particular, there has been a really economic slowdown since last few years. Now it's getting a little bit better, but in the last few years, there was also recession in Germany, meaning that especially also with the automotive industry, yeah, with the rise of Chinese companies and South Korean companies, there has been also pressure on the auto industry here in Germany, and that's why there has also been a lot of job losses. So in general, the economic slowdown has also been addressed by these parties like AfD, and they are also highlighting and saying, okay, these are because of the reforms, current reforms that are in place. Some of the other factors include the economic slowdown. Yeah, as you might know that the Europe and Germany in particular, there has been a really economic slowdown since last few years. Now it's getting a little bit better, but in the last few years there was also recession in Germany, meaning that especially also with the automotive industry, yeah, with the rise of Chinese companies and South Korean companies, there has been also pressure on the auto industry here in Germany, and that's why there has also been a lot of job losses. So in general, the economic slowdown has also been addressed by these parties like AfD, and they are also highlighting and saying, okay, these are because of the reforms, current reforms that are in place because of the current ruling parties. Yeah, and this has also been adding fuel to the fire, and these are also one of the reasons that they put forward, and that's why people are more dissatisfied with the current parties and then going in the direction of such parties. Some of the other factors include rising costs, yeah, rising inflation, and also I was also listening to one of the podcasts that Elon Musk had with Alice Weedle, I think last year. So now comes the big question: what all of this means for you as an expat? What I can say for sure is that the number of job opportunities are still there. Germany is still facing labor shortage, and there are a lot of opportunities, especially in niche industries like IT, doctors, nurses, and so on. In terms of the students, yeah, there are also the universities are still welcoming. I can see there are a lot of students still coming, and the studies are also cost efficient, so that's another factor, and these also doesn't seem to change. For the job opportunities, Germany has also introduced recently this chance Carter. Yeah, then a lot of people I see that are willing to take this chance Carter and try to explore job opportunities out here. So nothing has changed in that regard. So what does all of this mean for you as an expat? Let's first start with the job opportunities. So Germany still has an ample labor shortage, and due to this, there are other factors like there is increasing pressure on the pension schemes, or there are a lot of people getting aged or retiring in the next few years. But apart from all of this, due to all of this, there are ample job opportunities, especially if you look at niche categories like IT, nurses, doctors. Yeah, there are a lot of job opportunities out there. Talking about the students, there are also I see that there are a lot of students coming. The universities are still welcoming. They are still taking children or students from other countries, so that's also still okay. And looking at the family life, I mean, I've been living here since last year 8 years with my family. And so the next thing I want to talk about is the change of immigration landscape, yeah, or the policies. As I mentioned before, there has been a lot of immigration policies changes in the last few years, starting with like passports. The government had a rule that anyone can apply for a German passport after 3 years if they meet certain criteria. Now it has been changed back to 5 years, and of course you can apply for a German passport if you meet all the different criteria. But there has been always like back and forth on these topics. The other important topic is the like the asylum seekers, or the people who have applied for asylum here in Germany. Yeah, so this number was really high in the last few years, and since this year it has been decreasing, and there has been a push from the current Merz government and also from EU that the immigration policies should drastically change, meaning that the people who, especially the illegal immigrants or the people who came in on asylum seeker visas, they should be now sent back to their countries. Also, like this Syrian war is over, right? And there were a lot of people that came from countries like Syria, where Germany provided them support and shelter and all these support facilities. Now they wish that all of these people should go back to their own countries. Of course, there is a separate debate happening that okay, these people are now well integrated into the society, they are working here and doing all that stuff, and then these such kind of topics, keep popping up, and also sometimes getting escalated within the German political system. So what I'm trying to say is that there would be a drastic immigration policy change, I think, in next few years, especially if parties, the extreme right parties like AfD, they come into ruling, then that would definitely change the immigration perspective, and that would definitely lead to more serious changes going forward. And therefore, I would like to say that you should keep an eye on what's happening in the German political system, especially with these right-wing parties, and then keep your eyes open, and keep a look around and what's happening, and then you can also then figure out how it will impact you in the future. So when I came to Germany 8 years ago, it was not that easy as on today, right? It was a complete new environment for me, new people, new language, new climate, new weather, and new companies, and new policies, new things to look around, and that was definitely not easy. But if you have the right intent and the willing to do it, then I think nothing is impossible, right? So the key takeaways is that you keep yourself open to learn, you're open to learn the language, because that is the biggest barrier, I would say. Once you overcome this, then you can easily integrate, or at least try to integrate within the society. You can get a lot of things done when you know the language, and that definitely helps. Yeah. Also, one of the challenges that I faced was also the language, right? So, and then I started learning, and then finally, at least I'm at that level. I can try to speak within my office or outside work as well. And this is definitely, I can say that that definitely adds value, and you can act like a local, and people are willing to communicate more freely with you. And this is one of the key takeaways that I want to give in this video. So I hope all this information adds some value to your thought process. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the comment section, and I will try to answer them. Yeah, so thanks a lot for watching the video. In case you liked it, please do consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I shall come back with a new video pretty soon. Till then, have a nice one. Bye.